Hi, everyone. We are here. We just want to stop in. It's Melissa Hughes.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Angela Durant. Hello, everybody.
We were thinking, we were just talking, and we understand that, we've all been in this collective pandemic, at least three right now that we can count, not counting any personal pandemics. And we were just wanting to stop by because we're realizing that now there's additional shifts that are happening. What actually caused us to stop everything, things shut down, businesses shutting down, people having to work from home. It would just took us by storm. And like we were talking about it, right? Like during the time when we're like, oh, I wish I can spend time with my family, but I had to go to work, or start that new workout, but I had to go to work. There was always so much going on, we couldn't pause, right? And now we were forced to pause, like no choice but to. I mean, Angie, you were talking to your friend just the other day on how, well, I mean, we've both been, as far as, examples and stories of people that they're like, oh my gosh, I love spending time with my young son. I was always so busy, I wasn't able to do that. And you've got some stories from your clients too. What were you hearing as far as, the gift of COVID in essence?
Yeah, there's several different stories that are happening right now. So I have, but my best friend right now, she is say every day she's like, I hope they don't ask me to come back. I hope they don't ask me to come back into that office, because she has to take a train to work, and it's open spaces, right?
Yeah,
She's like, there's no way I can sit for 8-9 hours in a mask, and I'm kind of digging, yeah, and I'm kind of digging having my own space. I'm very productive at home, and I would not really want to go back in right now. So I'm hearing that, and I'm also hearing from clients, they are investing in themselves. Like right now, they are like
doubling down.
They are leaning in. They are saying, you know what? Now is the time. I'm going to take courses. I'm going to retool. I'm going to get myself up and running. All the things that I ever really wanted to do. Now is the time for me to do it. And I have one client who's already been in business for 20 years. She said, while this is going on, I'm going to, get myself building my brand. I want to be out. I want to come back from this, bounce back from this, come out on the other side of this, swinging.
Yes. And, I think that, some of us were so much into the everyday rat race that we never had the time to just pause and really embrace the things that we really wanted. It just seemed like it was an impossible task. And I do believe, and I've heard it also, so many stories about, wow, when it slowed down, I was able to rethink what life meant to me. What is my purpose? And it's like your purpose caught up with you because you were so busy, denying yourself the opportunity to just be still. And in this time, now that you've experienced what it looks like to be still, to have a little bit of time freedom or just an adjustment. I can't say all the moms out there had all the time freedom, but it was nice to be able to slow down and have dinner with the family.
Yeah.
No one was rushing out of the house because of a game or something or other. Trying to figure out how to entertain each other and just be more family-like. Or even the single people out there, just being able to really date.
Yes. And I always say that's the best thing the pandemic is the best thing. It'll slow you down, and you can really get to know that person, right?
Know that person.
Really get to know.
And there's some creative stories around that too. And so this is the thing. We wanted to stop by and we wanted to just share with you that experience that you had, you do not have to let it go.
Right.
When it really fit, when you finally had the time to sit down and calm down and decide this is really what feels right for me. I want this time freedom. I want to be location agnostic. I want to have financial freedom in the midst. And I know that I'm smart enough. Like, you got time to realize you're a bad mama jamma, or I'm a bad dude, so that like you're able to understand that your skills, your gifts, and your talents, they're there. They didn't go away in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That is absolutely true. And the calling that's on your life, that hasn't changed. Like, you're still called. You got to find a way, but you're still called to rise to the call that's on your life. So it's a really exciting time. And I always say that, with great challenges also comes an amazing opportunity for you.
Absolutely.
And so we want you to be encouraged. We want you to know that there's definitely more out there for you. And we've got some juicy stories to share with you that will definitely inspire you, uplift you, and have you looking at your life from a different perspective.
Absolutely. This is the thing. We're not just here to just say it just to say it. I was like, say, Aunt, you need to tell them your story. You need to tell them when you said enough is enough. You had a long, extensive corporate background with a really good company. And you just, even though it was great from the perspective of any professional would really appreciate this job, and you were acknowledged and rewarded accordingly, but you knew that there was more out there for you. And you knew that if they were acknowledging your skills, you were getting pulled to really be able to support people on a grander level. And you wouldn't be able to do that in the confines of corporate. You can carry out their visions and their goals, but your mission in your body and your mission in your soul was bigger than the four walls. So we're going to do something that we haven't done in a long time. I think, I want to interview Angela Durant on June 25th. On June 25th, I'm going to interview her, and we're going to hear exactly how in the world did you do it? How did you gain your freedom? I think you being the leader of a movement, your Be Brilliant movement, you always say, I think you have a tagline, you want them to buy back their freedom. I mean, I think
I want them to own themselves. I want them to be positioned to buy the freedom of others.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Say that again. Say it again.
I want them to own themselves, and I want them to be positioned to buy the freedom of others, the people that they love and care about.
Oh, wonderful. Mm-hmm. That is lovely. And that is definitely a goal that I can see where being in the confines of corporate wouldn't really allow you to really kind of bring it to the world, bring it to the universe, and just explode energetically and get that done. And so
and you know it, and there's a knowing that you have. And when I was going to corporate, and like you said, there was nothing wrong. Everything I was asking for some ridiculous things, and they just kept saying, yes, we'll accommodate you. Yes, we'll do this. Yes. And I still inside, I felt like this is not where I belong right now. This is not and maybe for a long time that felt comfortable. You felt really grateful to have it. But inside, I knew that I wasn't growing there, and there was more work for me to do, that I wasn't in alignment with what I was called to do. And some of you may feel that.
I hope y'all don't leave us hanging now. I mean, if you hear this, whether you're hearing it right now or the replay somewhere or ever, if you ever experience that, we're not making a beautiful opportunities as far as employment wrong at all. Right. What we are asking you to just acknowledge is the truth of what is your soul saying to you from a spiritual level. Are you in alignment with what you need to be doing right now? Or is there more out there for you? We really want to implore you and encourage you to check in with yourself, because when you're the best version of yourself, we all win. And even though it might seem weird, and that certainty of a check is the thing that I hear people sometimes say, it denies you the ability to really grow. And entrepreneurship is a different kind of certainty. It's not the same as bi-weekly or weekly or monthly check, right? Mm-hmm. But it is a lot more. The certainty you have because you're in your assignment, the certainty you have when you are making an impact in massive amount of people's lives, and the certainty that you have that you will be rewarded accordingly as long as you're willing to rise to receiving that kind of abundance. So we're going to June 25th. I want to interview you, Ange, and I want you to share with people, what did that whole journey look like for you? I know that your business, you really support people in branding, whether it be in their relationship or in their life and in their business. I mean, I know you have a lot of business owners that are their brands are so upgraded, up-leveled as a result of working with you. I really appreciate the methodology that you've cultivated to support some amazing brands that are out there right now, birthed into the world. Thank you. But yeah, so Anne, in closing, what are some of the things you want to just share with people so they can be encouraged? I want to definitely say, y'all, you need to listen to her story. You need to listen to what this looked like for her, because if you are a professional on any level and you're a high performer, I'm not talking about you not being a high performer. I'm talking about the fact that you got these skills for a reason, and they can really reward you on so many different levels. And you already know I'm telling you something that you already know. So for you, we really want to encourage you. The more giants that are rising up in the world to support people in your unique gifts, the better off we all are. So, Ann, what would you like to share?
Yeah, for sure. I want them to know that they have choices, because you might be sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm going to get that call and I have to go back any day now. So I want you to know that you have choices. I want you to also know that what is for you and can't nothing or no one stop it. I also want you to know that it takes courage, right? It takes courage and bravery for you to really step into what is there for you. And if you have that feeling where you're uneasy or you're feeling restless, even though there's really like things going on around you, there's nothing that's like terrible.
But or it might be terrible.
Or like it could be.
Like sometimes when you're not in alignment, it can be terrible. Like
it's just
yeah, it's a weird feeling.
And as humans, like that's a natural part, I think, of humans to have that feeling of unrest.
Yeah.
Because you're meant to keep growing. You're meant to do more. Like you're not meant to stay still or be living in a box. Like
or be stifled.
Right, or be stifled in any way. So if you have that feeling, like those are clues.
Yeah.
And there's more for you. I also want you to know that you know, in the Be Brilliant movement, we teach you how to really operate and be honest and true to your zone of genius, right? You know, our methodology is a special one in that we build brands from the inside out. So we want to know, like, start thinking about, like, what is my zone of genius? Like, where could I just really rock it out in life and serve and impact people? So that's something that we're going to talk about more on the 25th. And I want you to know that at the end of the day, we're all connected, right?
We are.
We're all connected. And, you know, it's in our interest, it's in Melissa's interest, and in my interest, for you to
everybody's interest.
Yes, for you to really step into, you know, the highest version of who you are and what you've been called to be. Because when you rise, because we're all connected, we all rise.
Yes.
So I'm excited to speak with you. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun. So y'all, you know, you should have the information there. I'll also drop it in some of the notes or comments. We want to hear from you. Like, we want to know, how are you feeling right now? Are you in a situation where you're going to have to change your environment again and go back to work? How's it going with the kids? You know, what are you thinking about? Like, are you regrouping? Are you taking this time to really up-level your life? Are you curious as to what that may be or what they may look like? Or, you know, are you also can't wait to go back to work and go back to the environment that you know? Most importantly, if you had time for your divine assignment or your purpose to whisper in your ear and probably right now yell in your ear that now is the time, we just want to really be able to show you as an example as to how possible it is and how impossible it may feel or look like. But I work with giants every day that in the beginning of their yes, it looked totally impossible.
Right.
But not only is it possible, it's totally doable. So it does take courage. But you know what? I realize that courage is relative, right? Because I know for me, I had to think about this. I had to think of, I'm already making 6 figures in corporate America, you know, but, you know, that's great, but money isn't everything. I was called to make a bigger impact. And I couldn't make it in the walls and where I was at the time. And it was scary to say yes and say, you know, it's time for me to grow and leave this comfort zone. But I honestly, if I look back on it, I was really uncomfortable in the comfort zone.
Yep.
I was like agitated easily because I just felt like there was this, it wasn't because of my physical situation. You know, the bank account was okay. You know, I wasn't really complaining about that. Relationships were all right. But it just was not in alignment. And I had to find out what that needed to look like for me to live my best life.
Yes. And something that I learned from you that I thought that you know, it's stuck with me is that you said you get to create it.
Yes.
You get to decide what it is you want, and you get to create the life that you want. And maybe your life isn't going to look like somebody else's. Maybe you want to have a family, you want to spend time with them, you want that balance, or maybe you just want to go for it and serve all the people and just, you know, but you get to choose.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting because I guess, and it's something so simple, but sometimes when you're in the midst of what you're doing, you don't stop to think about, like, can I create my own life? Can I design the life that I want to have? And so
it's so real.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've already made other commitments, like we're not single anymore, or we're not, single, meaning that we might have kids now. We might have dreams earlier on. We might have been totally cool with our assignment or our purpose or our passion. And then we made some other choices that now it's like we have obligations to more people than just us. And now all of a sudden we're thinking that we're held hostage to ordinary. And it doesn't mean that. But that's why I'm so excited. Like, Angela's been so generous on June 25th to really discuss it. I'm going to interview her. Now, if y'all ever heard the interviews on humanityconversations.com, check it out. But I will ask her the questions, y'all. I'll ask her, what exactly did you do? And, what was the roadblock? And like, how did you totally step away with everything that's going on in life? And so you're a mom, you're a wife, you are, over all these other associations, and you do all these different things. Yeah. But, so I love the fact that I'm interviewing you because you're experiencing what a lot of us are experiencing in one way or another in this world. And the only thing that you're not experiencing is having to go back and work for someone that you did not necessarily care to do anymore. Right. You designed your life and you did the work. So, y'all, we look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions that you want me to ask her, type it in the box because I will take note of that. If you have any question whatsoever, Ange has volunteered to take one for the team. Yeah. She will let us know. She will let us know, hey, Rhonda. She will let us know what we need to know. So she's already said yes. She's being very generous. And we cannot wait to see you on June 25th at 2 p.m. Now, there should be a link in there, so sign up so we'll be able to remind you. But we hope you are encouraged right now. You're not alone. We're all in this together. There's been so many different curveballs that have been presented to all of us on one level or another. And no matter what the curveballs are, no matter what the pandemic is that we're dealing with, I want you to know that there's a lot of love out here, y'all. There's a lot of love out here. There is a lot of humans that really care about each other. And I don't want you to get blindsided by that, by the noise. And it's real. The noise is real and the reasons are real. I just want you to make sure that you're not so totally in the dark that you forget that we do care. And so we want to just stop on in, encourage you. You matter totally. Totally. And you know it. And that's why we want to come back and support you and give you some really good details and like peel back the layers. So if you're going through any of that, we want to be generous with you and we want to share with you what does it actually look like. So if you have any questions, please type them in because I am going to be gathering them June 25th, and I will not leave anything out because she said it's okay. Yeah. So be encouraged, stay safe. We take care and we love you. We're all part of the same human race, y'all. Big love, big hearts. Bye for now.
Bye for now.